Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 13 of Rustic Waters. I was just walking through here and I realized our pump jack is running at pretty high uptime. It's like almost 50% uptime, right? And it basically, it runs as often as needed to keep our tank at like exactly the level it's at now. So I was actually kind of curious, have we run out of oil in the chunk? And I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. So let's can I run a sample? I guess you can't accept energy in the bottom. But when you run out of energy in a chunk, no, you still don't want to run. Right, you're so needy. Let's see, what can I do? But anyways, you take so long to break. When you run out of oil in a chunk, the pump jack starts running at very low efficiency. So this chunk started with 2 million millibuckets of oil in it. After you drain it, it'll keep getting oil, but you only get trace oil. Yeah, up to 6 millibuckets a tick of trace oil. Whereas originally you can get, I don't know, somewhere around like 50 to 100 millibuckets a tick of oil. That explains why our pump is running at such high uptime. Now, that it's not a problem yet because, as long as the pump is running at less than 100% uptime, that means that the pump is producing more oil than our system is consuming, right? Which is good. If instead of running through this purification system, we were using like the diesel generator, I'm reasonably confident that the diesel generator would go through, or rather that we could not power the diesel generator off 6 millibuckets a tick of trace oil. So all the more reason why, I'm happy we chose the oil system we did. Anyways, it's been a couple episodes since we've gone exploring, so I figured today, why don't we go check out Ratlantis? I think we can make this token off these tiny coins we got in dungeons, and we can get a spectacular reward. So I suspect there's a quest in here that is our spectacular reward, and you know what? I'm gonna cheat and take a peek at what it is. Aha, there it is. There's our quest. All right, what's Dr. Doolittle? What's our reward? Rat upgrade creative. Well, that seems like a pretty good reward. And oh, wait, these are the seeds that right? These are the seeds that you normally get from doing agriculture. That actually means I can I can get these seeds without having to breed all these and without having to cheat. All right, I'm down for this. Let's go get ourselves um let's go get ourselves our spectacular reward. So first, let's turn off edit mode. Next, it sounds like to do so, we first have to go to Ratlantis and try and right-click all of the wild animals with an animal net, I guess, for our reward. All right. So, cool. We have enough to make one. Complete our quest. Do I need to craft more of these nets? I'll bring a few with me because I'm not sure if they're one-time use or not. I'm not actually quite sure what all these animals are for. They're from this like zoo and wild animals mod. Scanning through the book, like we can capture them, tame them, feed them, literally anything. Although apparently, certain animals have to be fed certain foods, which makes sense. You can breed them, transport them. Apparently, there's cars. Tell them to do things and keep them happy. But end of the day, I don't know how much of this like is actually functional versus just flavor. But looking at these quests, we have to right click them. Basically, we have to do anything but hit them with the sword. So it seems reasonable. I'll bring these nets with me. I guess whatever we find, we'll like try to bring one of each back. Actually, no, is that enough nets? How many are there total? All right, there's 20 total animal types, and this is more than 20 nets, so that ought to do it. Let's head over to Ratlantis then. To do so, I think I need to put a portal somewhere by right-clicking this on the ground. I have no clue how big the portal is. I guess I'll put it in here. It's like the portal room, right? Kind of? Is it a small portal? Yeah, it is. Alright, here goes nothing. On second thought, before we go, let's charge our capacitor a little bit more, just to make sure we don't run out of energy while we're there. I think I have my jetpack in my backpack somewhere. Yeah. So I'll probably wear this instead of the oxygen tank. I doubt I'll do much diving. One thing I did do too was I upgraded our energy storage. We now have 250k or 250 million energy storage. It's just a bunch of capacitor banks. And in fact, we might want to upgrade our conduits soon. The conduits do 5,000 RF per connection, which isn't really a limitation because none of our machines consume more than 5,000 or produce more than 5,000, with the exception of our energetic infuser, which can consume up to 240k a tick. So yeah, you know what? While I wait for that to charge, I'll go buy some of the good energy conduits. At $500 per 4, that's not even a bad deal. They're just over $100 each. I'll buy maybe a stack of them for now. Reason number 633,562,328 why I love Ender.io. You can upgrade their conduits by just right-clicking the existing conduit with a new conduit. Like, what a nice feature. Apparently now different tier conduits connect to each other too. They didn't used to do that before, but that makes upgrading your conduit network even easier. Got that. Love it. Alright, so now our capacitor is mostly charged. I'll stop here because our capacitor bank is now fully drained, so we're not going to, be able to basically charging it the rest of the way. It's going to take a long time. So let's clean up, put that away, and get ready to head over to Ratlantis again. Here we go for real this time. Whee! Alright, so where do we spawn? I have never been in this dimension, so I have no clue what it's like besides supposedly filled with rats. Anyways, our goal here, I guess besides, seeing what ratty things are going on, is to click on one of each animal. I hope none of them are like biome specific or super hard to find, but there don't seem to be any hints. There's a lot of these marbled cheese structures. These blocks don't have any meaningful use, do they? There's also a lot of world jet lag. It looks like they're just building blocks. Are you a thing I need to right click? Salmon. Doesn't look like it. Hey look, I found something. These walruses? Pacific walrus. How do I net you? Left click. Turns out that wasn't one of them. Hey, what's shooting me? What's shooting me? Is it a mob? Oh, this little guy. Hi there, little guy. What are you? Do I have to click you? No, you're a rat. Need an advancement. Counter, sure. You have a lot of health too, you're not dead yet. Anyways, I think these drops are used to craft the various things. I don't know. There's a lot of late game Ratlantis things that like give you super rats. Like eventually you can craft a non-believer rat, which is just like a better version of the battle god rat. Unfortunately, this dimension is extremely laggy, and I don't think it's just world gen anymore. I've stood like in this spot for a couple minutes now, and we're still getting very high tick time. So I guess I just have to deal with it while I'm here. Don't chunk load any of it, obviously. So yeah, so far I'm at 0 of 20 animals found. This might actually end up being harder than trying to breed the seeds. We'll see, I guess. Ooh, looks like there's an animal here. I feel like there should be something in this, right? It's like screaming to open it. Is it just a block of gold? That's a disappointment. What are you? Lala. That must be something I need, right? No? Okay, fine. All this rat architecture is kind of interesting. It's like a rat statue with a block of gold inside. I guess if you wanted gold, here's a decent place to get it. Or lapis. Not that that's particularly, exciting or anything. And this looks like a castle that something is bound to be inside, right? Well, there's an animal of some sort. That might just be another one of those walruses or whatever. Pacific walrus. Yeah, I think I already have one of you. Oh, I guess I put him in a block and he's suffocating now. Goodbye, walrus. Still 0. I was kind of hoping that the advancements for rats would kind of like help guide me through this dimension, tell me what I gotta do here. It doesn't look like that's happening. In fact, I have a hard time even telling which are the completed advancements and which ones aren't. I think the yellow ones are completed and the gray ones aren't. Yeah, for sure. But there doesn't seem to be any like line of thought that guides you through Ratlantis. I guess maybe. So starting from here, we can't craft that with craft the archaeologist. And I guess if we let's see what that is. I think this is, but we need a avatar of Ratlantis to do this. And to get that, we have to kill. I think these drop from various mobs in here, or in Ratlantis. And then once we make this, we can transform, or we can craft these materials without having to come to Ratlantis. But we still have to come here and get like basically one of each, so that we can make the archaeologist. So then moving on down the advancements, enter the portal, craft ratgrove petals from, so we need to find ratgrove flowers. And I guess that eventually leads us to like, well, with normal progression would lead us to the rat combiner, but we already have that. So haha. And there's some, let's see. Craft a Ratilian automation core. Place the head on it. That's probably how you summon like a boss by the sounds of it. And then you kill it. But there's mobs like a pirate. Get it? Pirate. Cute. Alright, whatever. I'll stumble through this and maybe figure out what I'm doing. Hey look, a kangaroo. That's definitely one of the mobs I need. A red kangaroo. Does that count? No, I swear there was a kangaroo in here. Entity interaction task. Wait. With air? I don't understand how this works. Does the fact that I left clicked it not work? Do I have to right click it? The net has no entity use attack. Oh, okay. So yeah, it doesn't count because I right clicked. Or I left clicked it. It counted as an attack. So I guess we don't even have to capture these. We just have to right click them. Alright, well, 1 down. 19 to go. Hey look, black spider monkey. That has to be one of the mobs I needed too, right? Okay, is it doing anything? There we go. As you can see, I also made my mini-map huge so that I can, like, I'm trying to just navigate to the markers on it. Or not the markers, but how passive mobs have like a little white-ish icon. I'm just trying to jump between those. Honestly, in the time, it'll probably take me more time to find all 20 mobs than it is just to breed the darn seeds. This sucks. I feel like this isn't right. An albatross doesn't fly underwater. Just out of curiosity, I went into a cave down here to try to, see if it's any different, if it has like unique ore generation. But this low tick rate, Jesus, it's making it awfully hard to accomplish things here. Like, hit the zombie or skeleton, but I can't hit it again. Um, and aside from there being some cheese from time to time, I haven't really noticed anything unique about these dungeons here. It's also impossible to kill those spirits down here because they fly into the walls. All in all, a pretty awful experience. Let's get out of here. Also, like, my night vision is almost dropping at times because it's taking that long to get reapplied. Right? It gets reapplied normally like once every 3 to 4 seconds, but 3 to 4 seconds is taking 30 seconds. Alright, I think we gave it a fighting chance, but between the extreme lag, the relative lack of guidance for, how to get, like, what to do here, and the extremely grindy nature of, hey, go click on one of each of these things. Hey, look, my night vision dropped off. Something. Anyways, I think we've given Ratlantis a fighting chance, and I'm ready empty-handed, more or less. I don't know. Cool concept. I know the version of rats used in this pack is pretty old as well. It's a mod that's it's a pretty young mod to begin with, so maybe the newer version is more fleshed out and less, I don't know, like better documented and whatever. But I'm just about done here. I would love to show you how long. Last time I ate a piece of food, it took like 20 seconds of chomping before I actually ate it. Took some damage on purpose so I could eat. But chomp, chomp, chomp. Hey, that was actually much better than before. It took like 3 times as long as usual. Also, there's a rat here. Feral reptilian. I don't need to click him, do I? I just have to kill him. Hey, I'm sure that's something that would be useful if I was interested in it. Maybe. Maybe not. It didn't even drop. Oh no, it dropped rat toga. I see. Alright, well, I'm just going to fly away from the thing that's shooting me because they're super annoying to kill while lagging, and Hearthstone out of here. See ya, Ratlantis. I'm probably never coming back unless I have to. Please don't shoot me. Bye-bye. Alright, coolish concept. Implementation needs a little work. Let's change our map again to make it less big. I think the default's 30, but maybe a little bigger than default's better. Let's try 40. Yeah, that'll do. Anyways, as for what to do next, let's get back onto tech progression. So I think that puts us in, where is that chapter? Oh, I'm already on it. The future is now. So another way we can get EXP is by melting down some of our assorted farm goods. They don't melt into a lot, right? Let's see. So each one of these melts into 5 liquid EXP. However, I mean, one of them, like, it takes 255 assorted farm goods to get a single crate of farm. Or 200, what did I say, 225? I'm pretty sure that's 15 squared, right? So 220, basically each bucket of EXP caught, the opportunity cost is $10. So given that, it's probably fine if we turn some of our money production into EXP production. Because looking at our mob farm, I don't think it's going to cut it. It's just way too slow at producing EXP. Right? It has 19 levels in it, and that's only because we primed it with like 15 levels to begin with. So not a great solution. Darn it, thermal vendors. Why don't you actually sell the machines? You only sell the dynamos. Crafting these is kind of a pain. I don't know. It's like none of the materials are actually hard to gather or anything, but it takes what, one, two, three, four, 5 different materials, and I can't craft it like directly in the crafting terminal here, so I have to search for all these things and then move them to the crafting table. And normally my solution to annoying crafting like that is to batch craft, but like, why would I batch craft magma crucibles? Like, sure, maybe I'll use a second or third magma crucible down the line, but they're not like, if I don't know, it's Crafting's a pain in the ass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to siphon some of the assorted farm goods off of one of these auto crafters, send them into a magma crucible to be melted. I'll probably upgrade this as well. And I guess I'll buy another experience obelisk too to hold the final product. But this will provide the liquid EXP that we use for. Actually, I won't even use a experience obelisk to hold the final product because I don't need an infinite amount of EXP. I just need, a couple hundred buckets to do. Given that, I would siphon it into a tank. A resident tank at that. So that'll hold 512 buckets. Most crafting takes like a couple buckets at a time, I think. So, it both crafts very quickly and will have a moderate buffer of it, which should be sufficient. As we move on, there's a warning quest to tell us that we're going to need a lot of these infinity shards and omega, like infinity and omega components, I guess. How do we... Yeah. So our options realistically are either you grow them from seeds or you buy them. For now, I'll buy them. And if it if it ends up being too expensive to buy, I guess I'll go through all the seed breeding, much against my will. Anyways, actually, infinity ore, does that come from the void ore miner by chance? Infinity ore. No, it does not. That's a shame. Alright, so the quest wants 32 shards. I think it comes from the resources vendor. AU. Infinity shards. I don't even have enough money left for that. Jeez. I spent almost all of my money on like drawer upgrades and stuff. So I was able to scrounge together enough that we can buy 32 of these. But it definitely looks like we might have to do something like the seed solution. Blech. Also, buying these one at a time sucks. So much manual labor. For our reward, I'm definitely taking the ore. I wonder, is it affected by fortune? Apparently not. It drops as an ore. I guess the best we can do is pulverizer gets us basically 3. Alright. I guess we'll do that then. It's going to put the secondary sieve upgrade. It increases the chances of a secondary product to bump the chance of getting like that third infinity shard to... Doesn't look like it's quite 100%, but the majority of the time... I mean, I guess it was 70... It was 70 to begin with, right? So you already get the third one the majority of the time, but whatever. Off of 32 ores, we got 6 short of perfect rate. Good enough. And now we can make the Futuretech workshop. Nice. Alright, here's our Futuretech workshop. Takes a lot of tool durability, 512, but whatever. Hopefully we only need one, and I can take the rest of the EXP out of there. We'll put you... Well, I mean, in the end, this wasn't that hard to craft, so put you here. The rest of my EXP back in here. Again, thankfully, almost everything in here uses the same fluid, and everything in here uses the same tool, which is convenient. Also, this UI is absolutely atrocious. Like, my eyes. Oh, alright, whatever. Why does it want erothium dust? Okay, whatever. For now, I'm just going to buy it until I understand why I need it. Thermal guy sells it, right? Yeah. Do I have $100 bills? I'm like almost out of money, unfortunately. Already crafted a pulverizer. I don't want to craft another pulverizer. Will you accept the pulverizer I've already crafted for the quest? You will. Cool. Alright, get back to work. Next up, Grains of Infinity. So the normal way of creating Grains of Infinity has been disabled. To make it, we have to... does this one still work, actually? If we get compressed dust blocks, we can very rarely Sag Mill them into Grains of Infinity. Basically, well, actually, hold on. This is 5%. Or even double compressed. We can make a small profit this way. Especially because we can use grinding balls. But for now, we have to make it by jamming Zephyrium or Rothium into Infinity fragments. Before I go adding more machines to this room, though, and, by extension using more power, let me see if I can make some improvements to our power production. So I've been told that there's this ignition plug specialization, which for compression dynamos means that only refined fuel can be used, but it greatly increases power generation and efficiency. So let's go buy some. How many total do I have? 6. So I'll need, assuming they cost $200 each, 12 of those. If this is here, let me show you why we need more power. Right now, with just all the passive crafting running, we have just barely a little bit of excess power, right? Like 400 to 500 RF a tick excess. But it's like if I run one more machine, all that excess goes away. So I'm hoping that we can buy some, let's see, thermal expansion upgrades. Ignition plugs, 200 each, so yeah, I need 6 of you. And I hope this brings them up to like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 RF a tick each. I don't know exactly how much fuel efficiency gets improved either. But for now, actually, if I check this, is there... That doesn't say anything. Okay. Well, right now, 600 RF a tick, 840. So it's an extra 240 RF a tick each. And, it has to be an improvement fuel efficiency-wise, right? Am I actually not producing enough fuel to run all 6 of these? Huh. Well, with the upgrades, I'm sure we will be. Well, if this increases fuel efficiency, I don't know. Whoopsies. Those have to stay in there. Just to be sure, which of these is a bottleneck? It's this one. I'm going to put a couple more auxiliary reception coils in. All right, I'll put one more in each of these. It makes them use slightly more power and be slightly less efficient, but it also, makes them produce more fuel, which is quite important. All right, cool. Anyways, back to what we were doing. I need to turn this Erothium dust into Infinity, whatever the hex. With our improved power generation, we now have a bit more energy buffer. We're producing like 1,500 to 2,000 more RF a tick than we're consuming. So when we run these machines in short bursts, we won't run out of power. Anyways, there's our first 35 grains of Infinity. Empty capacitors. What are those for? Anyways, Infinity Iron is a... Alright. How do I make this? I mix iron with grains of Infinity to make... Okay. Sure. I have a feeling we're going to need plenty of pulverized iron going forward, so I'm just going to pulverize a lot of it at once. That is the right input chest, right? Turn auto input on. There we go. Cool. So that'll be our iron ore. Yeah, I'll wait till I have a stack of it, I guess. I'll mix the iron ore with grains of Infinity to get this grit. I think we just smelt this. Do I have a redstone furnace here, actually? I just have this one, right? But that one normally is in use. I guess I'll make another one then. That's great. For now, I'll just click it in here and hit it with my acceleration wand. Making machines is too annoying. If I can find my acceleration wand. Gotta go fast. That's fast. Cool. That should be enough to complete the quest. Spawn Enderman. All right. So we can craft these or we can buy them. I'm a little short on money right now, so I'll craft them, I guess. How many do we need? 8. I assume these are used to make the Ender IO machines. Sure is. Alright, our first two, oh, cool effect. Our first two simple machine chassis. And slice and splice. Doesn't look too bad. And our first Ender IO machine. Nice. That leads to capacitors. I guess it wants. So the way the capacitors are made in this pack is pretty interesting. We take these empty capacitors, and then depending on the fluid we fill it with, we get the basic, the mid tier, or the high tier one, which I guess is a cool concept. This quest specifically wants a basic one, I guess. So I'll go make one of those. I think, does this melt into 100 or 250 millibuckets actually? Magma Crucible 100. I buy that. You melt, you fill. Thank you. What I'll probably end up doing in practice is just buying the octated capacitors. Ooh, the enhanced alloy smelter. This is a big machine. I want one of these. But looks like we need industrial chassis for these. We need industrial die blend. Jeez. Enough steps here? I can either ferment corn or cook blocks of leaves. I'll do that. Our tree farms have produced plenty of leaves, so 9 stacks. Is that 9 or is that 8? One more. I need one of these with regular water in them. Guess I just delete the water. Is there any reason to keep simple machine chassis? Let's see. So do soul, those don't do anything. We've already made one of those. So it's just, I'll keep one to make a soul binder with eventually. And I'll turn the rest into industrial chassis. Whichever chest I get put into. Alright, and with that, I think I have everything it takes to make the enhanced alloy smelter. The good news is we have everything except these 10 infinity plates for our enhanced alloy smelter. The bad news is infinity plates are actually really expensive both to make and buy. So if we make them, let's see, how many infinity shards do I have? Just under 2 stacks and a single piece of ore. So plates take 2 gems, which take 4 shards. So let's see, 4 times 2, 8. So it takes 8 per. So I guess I can make them at 80 shards per plate. Or at 8 shards per plate. So 80 total shards to make 10 plates. I can also buy them, but they cost a lot. Let's see. Where is I should organize these guys in some way. I need my resources vendor. Yeah, they cost 8 times. They cost $4,000 each, and this is basically all the money I have left. I have $1,100 to my name. So I guess I'll have to craft these by hand. Right, yeah, I have $1 bill in there. Whoops. So by my count, we need 20 of these. Craft them probably in a different table, of course, because there's so much value in switching from one crafting table to the other and breaking your tool. and not having a spare tool ready. I've still been using mostly silver tools. They have pretty good durability and they're very, they don't use any precious resource. All right, 10 plates. And finally, enhanced alloy smelter. Nice. That's a pretty big step. There's a lot of alloys that are so much easier to make using this alloy smelter. Um, for example, let's see. So like this energetic alloy, making it without the alloy smelter requires shoving destabilized redstone into this infinity iron ingot. But these are, they take this infinity dust, right, which is pretty precious. However, now that we have the alloy smelter, oh, it still uses the infinity iron ingot. I thought this would be gold. Never mind, it's no different. Ah, this is a less exciting block than I thought. Well, whatever. Here it is, enhanced alloy smelter. So give it a capacitor and some input and output chests. I have to put a trap chest here so it doesn't link with that one. I'll put a normal chest here. Let's see, input this side, output that side. Cool. What's next? A Sag Mill? All right. Well, there's no way that I'll be able to, afford to buy these infinity plates or even like to buy the shards that make the plates. So for now, why don't we wrap up this episode here? I'd say we've made a decent amount of technical progression. We got through most of this quest page even, but there's clearly a lot left to go. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.